Well, Alexina, let's talk a little bit. I'll come to the Takemitsu in a second on this side, but this was a really wonderful idea which you went along with to write, because there are very few string quartet concertos.
Now I know why.
But I mean, obviously, this is going to be thrilling for me in any case, because it's the first time I'll actually have a chance to really have a baton and actually conduct the Tokyo String Quartet rather than just pretend to. No, I'm kidding. But what is really thrilling for me is I will walk on stage with the Tokyo String Quartet for the first time as a non-member of it. So that's going to be great. But it is a challenge, right? Because there's the whole balance issue. There's 100 members of an orchestra and then 4 voices that aren't necessarily the most powerful instruments in the orchestra.
Somehow when you have 4 of them together, they don't seem to, in my ear, project as well as one violinist standing in the front. It might be just my perception, but certainly writing for 4 people in front of a whole orchestra it was a challenge. It was a challenge because string quartet is some of the most intimate writing that you can do. It's very intricate writing, and they speak to each other in a certain kind of fluid way. They breathe together. You know what I'm saying, of course, because you led the string quartet for so many years. And yet, so you have this intimate music, and then you have extroverted music with the orchestra. So how do you bring the 2 of them together? The string quartet, as soon as the orchestra plays, you won't hear them.
Right.
With them. I mean, as soon as they play together, you won't hear them unless you're very clever. I tried to be very clever.
Well, tell us how you came up with the idea, because what you were talking about that earlier. What you really need first is an idea, and then you kind of run with it. But so you must have.
I ran with it.
You literally. It's called the chase.
It's called the first movement is called "The Chase Is On."
Is on. Right.
And the piece is called "Pursuit." So you can imagine what the piece is about. I don't know, in the last few pieces, I don't know how this happened, but I just decided to write fast music. And the last several of my pieces are fast. It's very dangerous to write fast music. All of these composers here will know what I'm talking about. And to write fast music for string quartet and orchestra is like, I don't know, what did I do?
Well, I think it's actually very fascinating. I was studying it. I was trying to figure out the basic, the big concept of it.
Right.
And there is something about this almost competitive thing that's going on. It's who can grab the next beat the fastest.
Right. It's chase.
Yeah.
The string quartet is chasing each other, and the string quartet is chasing the orchestra. The orchestra is chasing the string quartet. And finally, in the middle movement, which is very short, it's called Still, and everybody stops. And in the second movement, I actually write chamber music for the orchestra. Not everybody plays in the second. It's very short. The second movement is very short.
Well, I'll conduct it very slowly, don't worry.
And then wham, the chase is on again. I mean, and it's like a bat out of hell. The third movement moves forward.
And you use a kind of metric modulation. It's always fun. For conductors. I mean, nothing like as complicated as Elliott Carter's metric modulations, fortunately. But
no, but there's sort of shifting accents throughout, and you'll feel it. You feel it viscerally as this is happening. The percussion and the piano work together as a unit. So the string quartet works as a unit, and there's these constant offsets of accents. So you'll have to. It's like your body, it's almost a body memory that the players have to have, because if they're counting constantly, you're going to miss the propulsion of the piece.
Right.
So there's lots of energy in this piece, tons.
It's very good. I mean, I joke a lot about this Guitar Hero game because I think it's actually fantastic for musicians, because if you miss, it doesn't sound. You know what Guitar Hero is?
Well, I know what it is. I know what it is, but I have never participated.
Oh, my kids will show you. Come over one day. It's very embarrassing, you're supposed to be a conductor and you miss the first beat. Oh, Dad, come on. But it's really very good practice. In any case, I mean, you remind me when you talk about writing fast music. I remember having a conversation with Toru Takemitsu, who wrote a piece that we're doing next week for string orchestra called Away Alone. Was originally a string quartet written for the Tokyo Quartet in 1981.
Mhm.
But he always wanted to write us another piece, and he wanted to write us actually a string quartet concerto. He wanted to write one, but sadly he never did. But when we were sitting late at night with a few drinks, our violist said to him, "Toru, can I please ask you, could you please write something fast?" And he thought for a moment, scratched his head and went, "No, I don't think so." There's really no fast music by Takemitsu at all. You know, plenty of beautiful music, though, that's for sure. But in any case, this is going to be an exciting premiere. Keep in mind that you're free to, a little bit later on, there'll be time for you to ask questions. So any question you have for any of these wonderful musicians is fair game.